It is said that a wise man may not always have the right answers, but he poses the right questions. In today's gospel, the chief priests and scribes confront Jesus with a question: by what authority are you doing these things? Scribes and Pharisees are generally vilified as bad people, as people who always doubted and questioned Jesus. But we need to remember that they were in fact the ones who studied scriptures, kept up the sacred traditions, and eagerly waited for the promised Savior of the world, the Messiah. It is true that Jesus seemed to be a threat to them, because the actions of Jesus proclaimed that He is the Savior of the world. But at the same time, Jesus did not fit into their idea of how a Messiah should be. They were trying to reconcile their understanding of God from the scriptures and traditions with the real presence of God, which they sensed in the person of Jesus. And so they were telling Jesus, "We cannot understand you nor your actions. Do you claim that you are from God? In other words, by what authority are you doing these things?" Now, it's quite interesting to see the way in which Jesus responds to the priests and scribes. He doesn't rebuke them or condemn them for questioning Him. Neither does He give them an answer. Saint Bede, commenting on this gospel passage, says, "Knowledge is hidden from those who seek it, when he who seeks for it has no sufficient capacity to understand what he is seeking for." However, Jesus does not leave them empty-handed, but rather He sends them away with another question. Though the question was concerning John the Baptist, it is basically a question directed towards their own inner self, because it demanded a radical change in their way of life. Rather than calming them down with an answer, Jesus stirs up their heart with another question. It is said that a wise man may not always have the right answers, but he poses the right questions. We might not always get answers from Jesus, but we can be sure that even today, Jesus poses questions to everyone who is willing to listen, to everyone who is sincere in their prayer life. These questions may come to us either in the silent moments we spend with Jesus, or through the people and life situations in which we find ourselves. These questions are invitations to examine our conscience and to let go of our old patterns of behavior. And when we develop an openness to God's wisdom, which purifies and transfigures us through questions and problems, we'll then be able to reflect the attitude which we find in today's first reading. "I resolved to live according to wisdom, and I was zealous for the good." May the Lord grant us the strength to face His questions and the courage to change our lives.